That's heavy, that is, for 3 fingers. Fucking hell. Alright.
Okay.
Hello? No, was that? Go on, let's go. I'm awake.
Wow. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome to Time to Talk, the podcast with Lewis and Reiss. I'm Lewis.
And I'm Reiss.
And welcome to another episode. So today, as we said in the end of the last episode, we're going to be doing a Q&A. We've got some questions prepared, and we're just going to go through and answer them as we can.
Yeah, to be fair, we did get a surprising amount of people actually sending questions, which is not good. But I'll start off. I'll ask Lewis a question.
Okay.
What is the first thing you're doing post June 21st?
Okay. This is really hard because everyone's going to expect me to say like, oh, go to a pub, go to a club, but everyone's going to be there. So I feel like I'm going to maybe go to a restaurant first because everyone's going to be in a pub. Everyone's going to be in a club. And I've just missed a good old eating out. Wait.
Oh my
that sounded
God.
wrong.
Like,
That sounded wrong. I've missed
yeah.
eating out at a restaurant is what that was meant to be.
Yeah, of course, mate. Okay, no.
Good way to start. What about you?
Oh, it's going to sound terrible, but we've booked the 21st in Snobs, the 23rd in Snobs. And apparently on 26th I might be doing something with the work boys. But Snobs, man. First night out is Snobs. I'm going to be surrounded by 16-year-olds doing TikTok dances.
Well, this is the thing. So obviously, when we went into lockdown, we were, 21? So some of these people went into lockdown at 16 and have come out of lockdown as 18, and they'll be in the club when you're in the club.
They won't understand. Like, I don't know what it is, but everyone knows when you're in a club, there's a mutual respect for space and shit. And they're going to violate it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be weird because, as you say, you've obviously got your kind of music and the way that you do things and the things that you like, but then you've got this kind of next generation, as it is, that's going to come into this club and infringe on what you know, and they're going to be putting their stamp on things. It's going to be really weird.
But the only good thing is, Snobs is a shithole, so I doubt they'll even have new music. They'll just have the same old shit.
Yeah. I mean, go to second floor and you've got the same old shit the whole time.
The bangers, though, is just steaming. You know?
I think the only place that's going to have kind of new music, like alternative, is the third floor, but that's hardly ever open.
If there has to be, it's sold out, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's going to definitely be open this time, but that'll probably be the only place that actually has the new music, I guess.
Have you been there before when it's like, you can tell what room the people are going to go in and while they're in a queue? So if they're super dressed up, they go third floor. If they're kind of dressed up, they're bottom floor. And if they're not trying at all, the middle floor. It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
I always try and divide my time, because third floor is hardly ever open. So I divide my time between first and second. I'm mainly on second, but, sometimes I go down to first every now and then.
To be fair, bottom floor has the better looking birds. But the second floor has the girls I actually normally talk to, and then the top floor, that's not me. I look away, so that's not me. Anyway, carry on.
So my question for you.
Yes.
So who was your first celebrity crush, and who is it now?
I'm not too sure about the first one. It'd probably be like Hannah Montana or something like that.
Okay.
Well, for at least the last 10 years, Lana Del Rey. Drop the gorgeous. Okay. I'll do anything for her. Oh, mate, have you seen the video when she's singing Santa Baby?
No.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she's just sexy. But enough about her. What was your first and now current celebrity crush?
Okay, so I as a kid, like, I used to obviously think, as you say, Hannah Montana, I thought she was pretty and stuff like that, all the Disney Channel girls. But then I didn't realise I had a celebrity crush, wait a second, until I went to see High School Musical 3. Yeah, the opening scene of High School Musical 3 is Zac Efron, like, with his like sweaty hair, looking into the camera. And at that point, I was like, oh damn.
I don't like girls.
Yeah, I was like, okay, right. This is real now. So I'd say that he was Zac Efron High School Musical era was my first celebrity crush. And now I've got so many now. But I'd probably say
one standout.
Okay, my top would probably be Harry Styles. Yeah, Harry Styles.
He's a bit of a weird guy though.
What do you mean?
Just weird, and he wasn't dressed like a girl.
No, oh God, he wasn't dressed like a girl.
Oh.
Anyone can dress like anything.
Yeah, but I mean, no, not like that. I mean, because like, wasn't he like randomly just started dressed like a girl, but with no context at all, or something like that?
Well, it started like wearing like dresses and stuff, but
see, I never saw a picture, so I never knew it was true. So that actually happened.
Yeah, I think like maybe the Met Gala and like other high-end events and stuff. He was dressed in like dresses, but he had like there were things that were kind of androgynous, I would say. So he had like a shirt on and like a tux and all that, but then he had maybe like a skirt and boots on and stuff. I just think.
The only question I care about: did he look good?
Yes. Oh my God.
That's all that matters then.
Yes, he looked good. Shit. I think his style, more like, if you pardon the pun, more like nowadays. I really like. I always kind of liked him, but
just got that
the way that he dresses and stuff now, and the fact that he's a lot more. What did you just say?
I just got the pun.
Thank you. Thanks. I'll be here all week, guys. Just the way he dresses now and stuff. I really like it. I really fancy him. So Harry, if you're watching this, hit me up. Thanks, Tal.
Okay. I don't reckon he'll do that, but you never know.
Never say never.
All right, Beebs. Now, what is the worst job or moment you've had, and what happened?
Oh my God. Okay, I don't think I've got a worse job per se.
Yeah.
Because I think all the jobs have been good. They've got me to the place that I am today. All of that.
Liar.
No, I don't think any job was bad. But worst job moment. Oh. I mean, where do I even begin? There was a time where at PSL bowling, I was carrying a full tray full of like stacked full of like glasses and stuff, right? And I think there was this massive event going on. Loads of the league bowlers came in, and I was carrying this thing down, and someone just got in my way, and I like slipped a little bit, and all of these glasses toppled. They went everywhere. And at that point, I just put the tray down, sat down, and I just, head in hands, I just couldn't do it. That was probably the worst job. Because, obviously all of the British people are like, way. And I was like, now's not the time. Now ain't the time.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
That would do me. That would. The anxiety in there.
Yeah. And I was still fairly new at that time. So I was just there glass collecting. I'm carrying this massive tray full of stuff. Because I thought if I brought more, it would mean less journeys for me to have to do. So I kind of shot myself in the foot there. But I fucked it.
That's quite bad, to be fair. I think my beats you there.
Okay.
So you know how I used to work at Farm Foods? Shout out.
Yeah.
One time, you know how I take big pride in how good I am with like money and numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this old woman, she wasn't the richest or anything like that. She was pushing a trolley. She bought loads of stuff. She bought like £200 worth of things, and I gave her the wrong. I didn't. As I was counting the money, I put it all in, and then it was like 200 or something like that. I can't remember. I put it in the till, and then when I was doing my final check at the end of a shift, I realised she added an extra 20 in that I never counted. And you can tell like it was her shopping for the month. Like it was loads of tins, and I felt like when you just think go home and you're just like, oh my God, that poor woman's missing 20 pounds, because it could be a big difference to her.
No, of course.
So yeah,
that 20 quid could have gone a long way for. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
I think yours is more like oh God, I feel awful.
Guilt.
Mine was more like I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed by this. God, that's awful.
But to be fair, not like I found out though. If your till's over, I could have kept that 20 quid if I never told no one.
Could you?
Yeah, because if the till's over, the till's supposed to be break even. So if I I kept that 20 quid in my pocket. No one would have known anything. So, the more you know.
Nice.
Yeah. But
Okay. Next question. This is a weird one, right? But the question we've got here is cereal soup?
I'll let you know right there. No.
It's not. It's just such a strange question.
I can see the idea, but first of all, you're putting two ingredients together, where soup is just usually one whole concoction, and you add like stuff into it. So if you add stuff into it, it kind of starts changing it from a soup. Like, okay, would you call so when you have a blender and you put like a banana and shit in there?
Yeah.
And it goes into a soup-like paste.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a soup? No, it's a smoothie.
No, yeah.
So,
but then you also wouldn't call a cereal a smoothie either. It's weird. It's a really weird question.
Weetabix and milk. That's basically a smoothie, isn't it?
Kind of, because you're essentially blending it together. You're putting two ingredients together and blending it. I don't know. I don't know how to answer this.
I'm gonna say nah, it's not.
Okay, I think I'm going to say no, it's not. But I can see kind of where they're coming from in terms of soup. Like, for example, if you make a chicken soup, you've got the chicken stock with, like, chicken, potatoes, vegetables in it.
Mm.
So it's a liquid with things in it. So I guess cereal, and milk, liquid. I can see it, but I don't think cereal's a soup.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, no.
Yeah, nah.
What motivates you, Lewis, to work hard?
I think a few things. Like I see, obviously I like having nice things. I like the thought of having nice things, and you can't get those nice things without having the money to get those nice things. And so if you don't work hard, you don't get the money to get the nice things. So for me, I work hard because, the thing I might be doing at the time might not be the most exciting, but if I work hard and I know that I can get that money, that means I can get those nice things or go on those nice holidays and, do all of that. So that's my kind of motivation to work hard.
Materialistic kind of goals.
Kind of, but like not in a
big
materialistic way. Just in the way of like, do you know what? I want that jacket. I'm going to work for it and then I'm going to get the jacket. Or I want to go on this holiday. I'm going to work for it and do that. So
it's the fruits of your labour, and it. So you set yourself out a goal, and then you work towards that goal. Once you get it, that's like, yes, that was I'm with you.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
And you, what motivates you to work hard?
Well, as you know, I'm a very minimalistic person.
Uh-huh.
I don't like big flashy things, except don't like wasting money. So for me, the main goal is to travel, explore, retire young, because I don't expect to be here forever, really. So,
that's the thing, you got to live your life when you can, don't you?
100%. So basically, travel, see the place we want to see. So I have my own little mental bucket list of like Oz, New Zealand, South Africa. But other than that, that's about it, really. So, and then obviously skydive. I want to become one of the big goals is be able to skydive solo with no one behind you. That would be low key gasm.
That would be pretty cool, to be fair. I'm too much of a wuss to do that.
But imagine like one day you say, you know what, I'm not gonna pull a parachute, or tempt it and see how close you could get.
That's the thing with me. I would be like, let's see how far I can get, and then literally it'd get to the last minute and I'd be like, shit.
It's not working. That is a fear, actually.
And that's why also just the thought of dropping from that height, it just doesn't sit right with me. I can't.
Imagine all the nice views you'd be looking at as she's like glowing.
I wouldn't be looking at any views. I'd be there
like,
get me down. My eyes would be closed. My eyes would be closed, firmly closed.
That's what we've got to do for you now.
Until I get to that ground, my eyes will be firmly closed.
I think it'd be unreal.
I reckon the experience would be good. And I reckon once I've done it, I'd be like, oh, that was sick. But while I'm doing it, I'd be like, nah, fuck this.
Would you do a bungee jump?
Probably, because I've done like smaller bungee jump, never one off like a bridge, but I probably would because I know that I'm suspended by that rope.
They're scary, I think, because I remember I done that one. I think it was 120 feet. Doing the jump is fine, but when you're sitting in that cage and it's slowly going up in the air, and you can hear all the creaks of the metal and stuff.
Yeah.
Whoa, that put me on. I was like,
what about abseiling? Do you think you'd like abseil off a building or stuff like that?
what's abseiling? Is that the one where
Yeah, basically you're
downwards?
attached by ropes. Yeah, and you like go down backwards.
Oh yeah, I've done that loads of times down mountains and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's boring. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I like an abseil.
I always like to see how far I can push away and go down. Like.
No, I quite like an abseil. That's one of the, because I can't. You have to like physically look down, whereas you're not actually facing downwards.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, if I just lean back, it's chilling.
You have to wear gloves though. That's the remember that people. Oh,
it'll burn.
Especially when you have to try to stop.
Oh. No. Yes, okay, next question. So, what is your favourite thing about your career?
To be fair, it's the people. More than anything, if I'm honest. Job itself is always good, but I think in most jobs they don't appreciate the person as an individual. They look at it as a standpoint of, oh, he's only been here 2 years or 5 years. He's only allowed this much wage, etc. Where they don't actually look at the amount of work you do. Mm-hmm. So it'd probably be the ladies and gentlemen at work in my department, commercial department, because the rest of them, everyone's just too bitchy and that.
He wants to get a raise, people. Did you see that? That was like, I love the people I work with. Give me a raise.
Facts. It's just true. It's just fucking true, mate. But COVID stopped all that shit, so we won't argue there. But what about you, Lewis?
So in terms of like, obviously, I'm not a professional actor by any means, but yet, hopefully I'll be there at some point. But the thing that I love the most about acting, and like my favorite thing about it, is just, again, I think the people, definitely, because you meet so many different people when you do a show or anything like that. You meet so many different people from different walks of life, and you get to hear their stories. You get to understand them. You get to build kind of good working relationships with people, and I like doing that. I like to be able to talk to people and build working relationships with them and stuff. So having that common interest and being able to work with these different people, I just find it really interesting, and I just love acting the fool. I love acting stupid and being able to go on stage or behind a camera or whatever and just be a fool.
What would you say is the negative about it then?
The hours can be quite unsociable, and there can be like rehearsals can be really long and really stressful. I remember when I was doing Hairspray a couple of years ago, we'd be at rehearsals from like 7:30 till like 10:30, and you're just there working intense every single. I think we rehearsed 2 nights a week, but it was like 2 nights back to back, and it was just intense. And you'd kind of get to the end of the rehearsal, you're all sweating, you're all tired, you're all really exhausted, and the director might be like, well, that wasn't good enough, and you haven't put any work in, and you're sat there, and you're just like, I'm literally exhausted. I've come straight from work. I have not had any dinner. I haven't gone home. I'm sat here, I'm physically drained, and you're telling me it's not good enough. I'm just like, oh, God, come on.
Yeah, that would get a round of FUCKs for me.
Yeah, and that, sometimes it can demotivate you, and it's like, well, why do I even bother? Why am I even trying hard? But then I kind of look at it as in, I enjoy doing this as a whole, so I can't just let these little comments get me down.
Like, has he been on Doctors? I don't think so.
Exactly.
So, Lewis, I know you're a big fan of, is it Kim Kardashian's?
Well, I mean, I'm not a big fan, but, I buy into the stuff that she...
I'm Team Kanye.
Does.
Before anything starts, Team Kanye. But what do you think will break the internet next? Or if it ever will?
I reckon... if it's not a meme, it's going to be something along those lines. So like an influencer is going to do something, and it's going to be so kind of
out there.
Yeah, it's going to be so out there. It's going to be a real talking point. In terms of like breaking the internet, I reckon it's going to be something that everybody's talking about. Whether you know it, whether you've just seen it in a newspaper, everyone's going to be talking about it. So I reckon it's going to be something that an influencer or a Kardashian or whatever, someone like that does, that is going to get everybody talking. That's what I think.
See, I think it'll be Kanye's first album post Kim, and he just tells everyone everything about the Kardashians.
Right.
And if he does that, everyone will label him like crazy.
Yeah, but they've been doing that for years.
I know, but
that's the thing.
That's what he'll do. He'll come out. He'll say everything like how like they have like a hat where they randomly pick out stuff from the hat, and that's why Caitlyn had to have the like. He'll just say shit like that. Like he'll say like there's a bucket hat with random shits. I reckon that's what he'll do. He'll be mental school off the rails that way.
Okay.
I can see it happening. Like he'll go mental because of divorce and losing his wife and stuff because he's always been obsessed with Kim. Yeah. So he'll come out and say the most bizarre shit. That's just pure shit, and that'll break the internet.
And do you know what? I can't even disagree with you there, because Kanye's been doing things like this for a long time, and you know, the thought of Kanye coming out and saying all these things and revealing all the truths, it doesn't seem like something that.
I don't know if they'll all be truths.
It seems like something he would do. Yeah, they might not all be truths, but he'll come out and reveal things, and it's definitely something that Kanye would do. 100%. Oh God. I kind of am looking forward to that album, but I'm also not. Like I am, because the music's going to be amazing and they're going to be proper like lyrics.
Yeah.
But then it's also going to be like, oh my God, Kanye is going insane.
Yeah. Do you remember that joke that came out when Caitlyn first transitioned? I'm pretty sure Kanye liked to tweet like it was like a meme, and it was like what caused Bruce to change. It was like a roulette wheel with like stuff to do, and one of them, the one that rolled out, had changed gender, and Kanye liked the tweet or something like that. It's mad.
Jesus.
So that's where my thought was going. I was like, oh, that's what he'll say, some bullshit like that. But
right, who knows? Reiss, what was the last thing that made you cry?
You know what's bad about this? I actually spoke about this like 2 days ago, a day ago. Uh-huh. So the last thing that made me cry was episode 8 of the Midnight Gospel.
Right.
That's the last thing that made me cry. I'm not going to go into it. If you want to know why it made me cry, just watch it. Then you'll probably understand. Thank you. What about you, Lewis?
Similarly to you, it was a TV show or like a Netflix show. It's called Pose, and it's really good. It's really hard hitting. It's about ballroom culture in the 80s in New York. And there's one episode in season 2. I think it might be episode 8 as well. I don't know. But it's one episode in season 2 where I don't want to give too much away, but like something happens and it's quite a big thing and it's just so sad. And I remember I watched it by myself the first time, many, I think it was like September last year. And I was sat in my room and I was in bits. I was in floods of tears. It was so sad.
Last time you cried was last year?
Yeah, like proper cried.
Oh, you mean proper cried? I don't know then. I wept. I wept at the show. I didn't cry like that.
No, I was wailing at that show. I guess okay. If you're talking about just like last thing that made me cry.
Yeah. That was the question.
Oh, bore off. I cry when I'm angry, and I get angry quite a lot. But it's like really little things. So like the other day, I think I was doing something literally as simple as like just cutting some food up to eat it. And then I think I was cutting something up. It didn't cut properly. And I just threw the knife down and just started crying because I'm a child.
That is kind of mad, to be fair. That could never be me.
Yeah. So that's that.
Okay. That's cute. I don't cry, but if you're on a desert island or you're trapped somewhere for the rest of your life, you can choose one book, one film, one album to watch and listen to. However, before you ask all these questions, why am I on a desert island with internet and all this stuff? Shh. It's hypothetical.
Yeah, don't ask any questions. You're just on a desert island.
And these things work, all right?
One album, one film, one book for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Oh God, okay. regardless of what I choose, you're gonna get bored of it anyway. If it's for the rest of your life, you're gonna get bored of it. God. Okay, I think. Shit. This is really difficult.
I don't think so.
Okay, one book I'd probably keep The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I read it many years ago, and it's just a really good book, and it's funny, and it's just really well written. So I think I'd probably have that book. Film. See, everyone expects me to say Shrek because I love Shrek so much, but I don't think I could watch it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no. Hasn't got enough flavour.
I'd probably say Kill Bill Volume 1 because that's got a lot of action in it. Volume 2 has action, but not like as much.
Is that the one where she's in the coffin and she does that to get out? Is that number 1?
No, that's Volume 2.
Oh, that's trash. Yeah, I agree.
The second volume I don't think has as much action in, but the first one has loads of action in it. So I'd probably have that as my film. And then one album. This one's really difficult. Because I don't listen to albums. I'd listen to like a single here and there and stuff. But if I had to choose one full album, I'd probably say Beyonce 4.
Beyonce 4?
Yeah, so her album 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you could make your own album, but of an artist, would that help you more? So you can have like 16 songs from one artist, and that's like an album, but it's your own album.
Right, okay. Then, nah, I'm not going to do that because I listen to so many different artists that it'd be too hard to pick one artist.
Okay, fair enough then.
So go on. What about you?
Album, if I could do what I just said, 16 songs of one artist, it would be Johnny Cash. 100%.
Okay.
I am a big fan of him. Remember was it last year? I was like in his top 1% or something like that. 0.1% of his listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
So stay winning. The film, that's difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
What films keeps me engaged?
That's the thing, isn't it? It's about a film that's going to keep you engaged for long enough that, obviously, as I say, you're going to get bored of it if it's for the rest of your life, but it keeps you engaged enough that you can still find things that are exciting about it.
To be fair, I do like Tropic Thunder. But eventually, probably The Godfather or Scarface. Okay. Something quite long and something really like.
Yeah.
And then a book. That's a sticky one, that is. Because I'm torn between one book I've read that's knowledgeable.
Yeah.
The one that you bought me, remember the book one? The book about sleep.
Yeah.
That's someone that robbed it, but we won't talk about that. Bitch. Or like the Guinness Book of Records, like the biggest one there is. I just read through that and be like, oh god, there's a guy who does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I guess the good thing about that as well is because you're on a desert island, there might be things in there that like hold your breath underwater for the longest, things like that. So you could look through that book and think, oh, I'm going to try and break one of these records. No one's going to know that I'm here or that I'm doing it, but I want to do it for my own, satisfaction or whatever.
Dying knowing you'd beat it, like I did.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so my question to you is, once lockdown ends, if you could choose any, what would be your first holiday and your first gig?
First gig. This gig being anything like a one act, like see one act.
Well, okay, let's widen it then. Like your first like event, like festival or something.
Oh, well, you got that. Going Creamfield.
And a lot of people are going to Creamfield this year. I've seen it like everywhere.
Sold out,
didn't it sell out like really quickly?
Fastest ever, yeah.
Just like Reading and Leeds, I think, as well.
I know, man. Because you know what it is? Everyone is just dying for like a. Yeah. And what's going to be good about it? Because everyone's going to be like naturally high, and then other people will be high on top of high. So pretty much across the board, everyone will be some kind of high.
Yeah.
But so that I reckon.
So that'll be your first like gig festival thing. What about first holiday?
I probably won't be everyone this year, for most of you. But it'd have to be like one of the Maga, Zanti or something like that. I would say Ibiza, but I'd want to have a lot more money saved up for that. Because I couldn't be like how everyone is and go there and stand in the crowds and like you know how it's like where you go go to a festival rave here where you're cramped. I'd rather pay the extra money, get myself my own table in Ibiza.
Yeah.
And then do it that way because
that makes sense.
What about you?
I think first holiday. We were supposed to go to Jamaica for Christmas, but obviously we couldn't because of the travel ban. So I'd probably, like when I'm able to again, I'd probably go to Jamaica, just to like see some family over there and just go back. We haven't been for quite a while, so that would probably be my first holiday. And then first gig, that's a hard one. If she went on tour again, I'd probably go and see Beyonce again.
Do you love her, man? She's so overrated.
Listen, I don't care how overrated she is. I love her. I think she's got a great voice. I think she's a great artist. Beyonce, if you're listening to this, hit me up.
Imagine.
I think I'd die. I think I would die if Beyonce listened to this.
Okay. So speaking about Beyonce, leads me on to my next question. What is your favourite song right now?
It's actually not a Beyonce song. My favourite song right now. She's not really released anything like new in recent times. I think my fave song right now, something that has probably been out for a couple of years, but I've only just discovered it, is Make You Feel by Janelle Monáe, or That's Just the Way You Make Me Feel. I don't know the full title of the song, but Janelle Monáe, That's Just the Way You Make Me Feel.
I don't know that. I won't lie to you, my friend. But
I think it's a good song. It's got a good beat behind it, and she sings it really well. And it's just a feel good, like funky dance song. I quite like it.
So yeah, I haven't heard of her before, and I haven't probably heard of that.
You have heard of her. I'm sure you have heard of her before. You know the song "We Are Young" by Fun. That's got her in it.
Sing it a little bit.
Night.
Oh.
Yeah, that song.
Oh yeah.
It's got her in it. She doesn't have like a solo part in it, but she's featured as she's featured as one of the artists. Anyway, whatever.
Trash.
What's your favourite song right now?
At the moment, hold on. I'll have to go on Spotify while I'm on here. Hold on, right there. It's a new one. It's not really a song though. It's more like a drum and bass type thing. Actually, no. I can't say that one. Hold on, right there. It's loading. Sorry about this, guys. At the moment. Ooh, I'm liking Panic Room Culture Shock remix. But then I'm also, actually, I changed my mind. House Every Weekend Lodestar remix. That is vibes. Honestly, it's a well, because it has lyrics in the shit. So yeah, one of them too. You're welcome.
Nice.
Joy. Okay.
So, do you think you've ever been in love?
Shit, man. Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, I recommend everyone do it. It is. It's just the best feeling ever.
It's not getting fucking puppy. I recommend everyone do it at least once.
At least once, yeah. It's the best. It's the best feeling ever. But then, like, it starts to fade away, and then you're trying to force it, and then it just becomes trash. And then even when you don't necessarily want to be in it still, you still want to be in it. But then when it ends, even though you didn't want it to end, but you wanted it to end, you're like, my heart. So, yeah. Recommend it. But after you've had it once, you're going to be really picky about who you go with the next time. Like, but yeah. What about you, Lewis?
I do think I was in love. I do think I've been in love before.
Who with?
That I'm not going to disclose.
Let me know with facial signals. Is it the most recent one?
No.
PSL bowling guy?
I don't think I was in love with him. It's actually one that you're probably going to be quite shocked at.
Better not be the other one, I'm thinking. From school.
It was in school days, yeah.
Yeah, from school.
No guys.
Oh, the song girl.
No.
Oh, who then? I'm lost here, folks. I'm lost here.
I'll tell you afterwards. But I think I was in love with this person, but it was more. Obviously, I've always known that I'm gay, but with this person, I loved being around them. I loved being with them. I loved spending time with them, and I fell in love with them as a person because they were, they were nice, and when things were good, they were good, but when they were bad, they were really bad.
I think I know who.
Okay, good. But yeah, I think when things were good, they were great, but when things were bad, they were awful. But the good times were amazing. So I think I was in love with that person, but more just how I felt when I was with that person.
How are you with that person now?
Yeah, we haven't spoken in years. Anyway, yeah.
That's a bit depressing. That's the thing. Isn't it? First love is the worst one because
Yeah.
even though you don't want to admit it, you'll always have some kind of affection towards them, even if it's not like it's sexual interest or anything like that. You still care to some degree. Well, but yeah, enough about them people. What's the biggest lesson you've ever learnt in life?
I think I learned a big lesson quite a few years ago that I think we might have mentioned this on a past podcast, but
Yeah,
the people that you're like really good friends with in school aren't necessarily going to stay like that close with you or stay as your friend once you leave school. Once you've left that environment, you're not necessarily going to stay in that friendship, and you're not necessarily going to have the same kind of relationship with these kind of people.
that is 100% facts because most friendship groups now are like 3-4 people.
Yeah.
So this shows you. To be fair with you, so facts.
Yeah. And you?
I'm dying first. That's what I'm doing. Sorry guys, I'm very healthy wealth. But biggest lesson is it's not as big of a deal as you think it is.
Yeah.
Like I think people focus too much on themselves instead of like the bigger picture. Like say for example, if you broke your leg, that's a big deal. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. Stuff like that. Like people just need to take it into context. Like it's not a big deal. Like no, it sounds bad, but if your nan died at like 80s, it's like that makes sense. Like don't be that upset. It was coming.
Yeah.
So I think
That makes sense. I've got some family who are, my great grandma, for example, if she makes it to November this year, she'll be 105. And, that's incredible. So obviously it's sad when anyone passes, but as you say, she's going to be 105. It's not like this was a shock. It's not like it's going to be like, oh my God, it's so sudden. Like she's very old. So
yeah, it's like that's why I don't get about some people. It's like if people get like the shock value of death, where it's like a car crash or sudden like heart attack, that is understandable because there's no like
you didn't see it coming. Things like that, yeah.
But if anyone who I speak to or know and they get past 80, I'm gonna automatically assume it's like it's not that long left really. Obviously, I'll be sad to some degree, but I won't be like how some are like.
Like I wouldn't. I think what I'd do more is celebrate their life instead of like feel upset about them passing.
Yes.
If they're that old, they've lived an incredible life. Once you surpass the 80-year-old mark, I think you've lived an amazing life. You've lived for so long that at that point, yes, as you say, be sad, cool, but celebrate this person's life instead of dwelling on, oh, they're not here anymore, they're not here anymore.
Yes, 100%.
Because I think that person would want you to celebrate their life more than be really upset by it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah. And final question. If you had the choice, would you rather go back to your past or view your future?
That is the hardest question ever.
Mm-hmm.
If I went back to the past, could I change anything, or was it just viewing?
I think it's just go back to the past. I don't know if it means you can change anything or do anything. I think, would you rather go back to your past or see into your future? Hard, isn't it?
Future.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to see if I have kids and who I settle down with, because it would be mad if you could see who you settled with, or if you haven't settled, or if you have kids or not, because you might not know the person yet, and so that would just mean I don't know the story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that part would intrigue me. But other than that, it's got to be the future. What about you?
I think the same. I think, the past is in the past. What's been and done is done, and it's shaped everyone to what they are today. So I think, same as you, I would like to view my future, not necessarily like all the way into the future, but like maybe 5-10 years into the future. And as you say, see who I've settled down with, see where my life is going to be at that time, because I think then it'll be interesting for me to be like, oh, how do I get there? I'm at this point in my life in 10 years. I want to know how I get there. It's going to be interesting to me to understand the journey to get to that end point. So I think it's just really interesting to understand, and see the future. So if I could, I'd probably view the future, to be honest.
The possibilities are endless, because you've got enhancements in technology and all this. That's the mad thing, isn't it? I reckon eventually in the future they'll have enough technology that you could actually do that. You could actually see, because when you think about it, you'll probably think this is crazy, but say if we had like a rocket ship, for example, that went at speeds of light and went like that way, billions of miles away, and had a telescope to look back, they would see dinosaurs, because it's
right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So if you go far enough away, you can look back.
Yeah.
Seeing the past is possible, but the future you probably can't do that. Which is why I choose the future. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Well, yeah, that's all the questions.
Well, we thank you everyone for your questions.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Worked quite well for them. They did quite well. I'm proud of them.
We've got loyal listeners. Thanks, guys.
Actually, to be fair, the messages and that are increasing, the interaction.
Yeah. So it's really increasing, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, I hope this is what they asked for. If they get no views, we're sorry.
We've got other things in the future planned.
Yeah, and plus lockdown's coming to an end on April 12th, so expect to see the first podcast with me and Lewis, fresh trims, actually see our faces properly, very decent garms, and together.
Yeah, we'll actually be in the same place.
Talking farcical.
But no, again, thanks for all the questions, guys, and we hope you enjoyed the podcast. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
See you later. Now I need to again click stop recording. There we go.